Well, this week was election week. And for most people, it was nuts. How I keep my sanity during times like this, election cycles specifically, is don't watch the news. Which is really hard to do because there isn't news anymore. Nowadays it's infotainment. Real news died with Walter Cronkite. There's other great newscasters in the world, but the news now is just about selling time to customers that hawk their wares in commercials. It gets really old, so I don't watch it anymore. Now, I did find a channel, National NBR, National something, it's on PBS. They were calm, easygoing, had real news. And I liked it. They didn't have any commercials for either party or any party. And I appreciated that a lot. People got very hostile this year. Mostly online. I didn't see it too much in person. Curiously, I did meet, well, I know these guys for a while. There are a couple of vets. They fought in Nam. One of them's never voted, or voted once, I think. And the other one just didn't want to vote. And I reminded them that millions of Americans have died to preserve our right to vote. So it doesn't move them. Another vet I know said something about vets have been disheartened for a long time. I know their medical care is really horrible. Anyway, so here at the end of the week, I have heard from two sources that these businesses have been not directly attacked, but they've been harassed. Somebody will call in all mad and say, I'm going to kill me a Democrat. And another one will call in, I'm going to kill me a Republican. Really? So it looks like the sheeple have gone off the deep end. People are so easily manipulated by the media, it's not even funny. In fact, for me, it's very seriously sad. And I'm terribly sorry it's that easy to manipulate them, but it is. That's the reality. So there's people rioting, there's people not sending their kids to school because of crap that Trump said, for instance. Well, I suppose you got to pick your poison or not. But threatening people, that's not good. The local lumber company here told me people started coming in on Wednesday after the elections, yelling and screaming at each other. They didn't know what they wanted. They were kind of panicked, agitated. See, to me, that's just the media manipulating them. Yeah, sometimes Trump's words were pretty rough, but the media wouldn't play his whole hour and a half. They'd just take certain sound bites and stir the pot. Well, people watch, the sponsors get their stuff purchased, and that's how that whole cycle works. So I got tired of the news a long time ago because it's just so, like I said, it's infotainment. It's not news anymore. So, how did I keep my sanity online? People I know have lost friends over this election. Well, I was in the same boat. I didn't want to lose any friends. So, for example, what I did on Facebook was I didn't defriend people. I just turned off me being able to read their posts. I no longer received it. So they could rattle on about all kinds of made up crap and I don't have to see it. And when it's all done, I can undo that and get back to life. Because some people that we know and love are political morons. They get manipulated very easily, agitated, upset. The problem with politics is it's the art of putting on an argument that is baseless, that has no facts in it. And your friends do it, your relatives do it, your co-workers do it, everybody does it. But they're always lacking in evidence. There's a guy I know here that got into an argument with me. We've done this a couple of times, but this last time he got violent with me. His whole position is, and I'm not picking sides here, I'm just telling you what his position is. He said, Hillary's corrupt, emails, and I said, well, what about the evidence? And he says, well, the FBI is corrupt, the Secret Service is corrupt, the government's corrupt. Well, his whole view is everybody's corrupt. So my response to him was, I think ISIS would like to recruit you. Oh, no, they wouldn't. I said, yeah, you're the perfect mentality for that. You believe everything's corrupt. It's obviously not. But, you know, nobody's been indicted. What can you say? The FBI's had Hillary through their mill twice, no indictment. Oh, it's because she's rich. Yeah, I don't think so. There's a lot of rich people in jail. Anyway, so my point is, the sheeple, which if you don't know, and I'll explain it because some people haven't heard it, sheeple means sheep and people, which are very easily manipulated human beings, which is most human beings. They see something online or they read it and they instantly accept it as fact. Well, apparently I'm lucky. My whole career was troubleshooting broken stuff. And you can't do that based on beliefs. You have to gather facts, gather data, and work your way down to the core issue and fix it. Or they fire you and you don't pay your mortgage. So, for me, data, evidence is everything. It's everything. That's what the courts use. They use evidence to convict or to exonerate people. And it's really good that they do, because most people don't think about evidence. They just think about what they heard in front of them. Oh, it must be true. It must be true. And that gets really old. Almost everybody I know that posts online political opinions are sheeple, because they completely buy what they're posting. And man, what a shame. But that's our political process. The politicians know how easy people are to manipulate. Therefore, they come up with these ads, these incredible ads. The PACs and the super PACs that have all this money come up with all these, mistruths about other people. It's just a game of manipulation. It's just that simple. There's no rocket science in it. In fact, there's no science at all. So anyway, in order to keep my friends, I didn't have anything to do with them politically during this time. I am very steadfast in my position, and my position is I am very solidly apolitical. I knew somebody I worked with 15 years ago who beat on me relentlessly every day for a year. Very smart, very strong-willed, and his goal was to get me to admit that I was one party or the other in politics. I'm not kidding, every day for a year. And he failed. He finally said to me, "You're apolitical." And I went, "Now that you've caught up, let's go have lunch." So I always vote for who seems to be a smart, solid choice to me for whatever reasons I see at the time. I don't affiliate with the big boys clubs at all. I just, Democrat, Republican, who cares? What does that have to do with anything? Those are the kind of clubs that the sheeple need to belong to, so they feel empowered. It's hooey to me. It's hooey. It's better to make up your own mind, go your own direction. That's how it works for me anyway. Anyway, the place went nuts. The election's over. It's Saturday night, and there are still repercussions from all that. And this is going to last a long time. I always thought it was great that Trump paid for his own campaign. That was really great. Up until the Republican Party tossed their money behind him. That was pretty amazing. He's not a politician. He's a business guy. I'm not sure he's a great one, but he's a business guy. So we'll see what happens. He'll be climbing a steep learning curve, guaranteed. I think everybody does that becomes the president. So we'll see what happens. I do not like the way he talks about women. I don't. I'm sorry. In fact, I hate it. You don't belittle people. I did like the idea of a wall. Let's give jobs to Americans instead of illegal immigrants. Let's do that. California's had great success shipping out illegal immigrants and freeing up jobs. That's actually working. We just need to get it to work in the rest of the country, especially the border states. Here in Arizona, we've lost a very tough long-term sheriff down in southern Arizona, Joe Arpaio. He lost the election. He's no longer the sheriff down there, or won't be here shortly. And he took care of business. That man put prisoners in pink jumpsuits, etc. Takes no crap from those people. And that needs to happen. Prison needs to be a very unattractive place to go. So he made that happen for 24 years. Yeah, well, hopefully he'll get put to use somewhere else. The problem is he's old enough, he might just retire. But I'm hoping somehow in public service he'll get put to use somewhere else, or maybe even privately. He's way too talented to let him just fade away into history. But he'll make history. Certainly he will. Our current soon-to-be president, he says he'll protect our Second Amendment rights with guns. A lot of people vote against guns. Right after somebody gets shot in their neighborhood, they run down to the gun store and buy a gun. That's what happened every time there's been a mass shooting. The gun stores can't keep up. That's after the fact. That means somebody dies, then people buy guns. Guns are a tool. You got wrenches, you got brooms, you got dustpans, you got forks, knives, and you got guns. They're a tool. You got to have a little respect for them. But you know what? Almost all of us adults drive vehicles, and those are tools too, and they are absolutely deadly weapons. And we're not outlawing cars and trucks now, are we? So before you jump on your soapbox about guns and outlawing them, just remember, way more people die from car accidents, get run over by cars and trucks and buses than anybody that's ever been shot. And it's just, guns are a tool. If people have experience with them, they're calm, relaxed, and they use their brains. There's been people run over by crazy people. It's been on the news in the last year. Happened in Vegas, which is the closest example for me. Lady went nuts and ran a bunch of people over. So did they outlaw cars? Of course not. So anyway, I had never owned a gun until I moved here. So I got here when I was 55, got a gun, got another gun, got another gun. Each one does something different that's important to me living out here in the sticks. I don't use them all the time. I trained with them for a couple months pretty seriously, so I was comfortable with them. Then they're put away. I haven't touched my guns in months. I still drive all the time and use my tools and make stuff. And those are the tools I use all the time. And several of them are very deadly. A table saw can cut your whole hand off. They outlaw them every time somebody loses a finger? No. You can bleed to death from those tools. Anyway, I'm stretching a little bit here. It's been a nutty week for a lot of people. Since I don't spend my time watching the news, it doesn't have a lot to do with me. And the people that I love dearly who could not help but run their mouths, I just turn off the posting for them and I don't get to see it or hear it. And so a little more time's going to go by, I'll turn it back on and see what they got to say. But you learn the hard way that some of the people you love dearly and some you're related to are political morons. There's nothing you can do about it. There's not anything you can do about it. All you can do is turn them off. A lot of people defriend people. I defriended somebody once several years ago and I regretted it. Because that's not actually what I wanted to do. I just wanted to stop the yakking. And I learned later how to do that. Somebody showed me. So I was like, okay. So I kept all my friends. Now I do point out to people quite often when they post something that it's manipulation of the sheeple. Don't be a sheeple. Do your best not to be a sheeple. Okay? Try not to be reactive. Try to be proactive. Do something for yourself and your loved ones and your friends that helps everybody. Jumping up and down and agreeing with some meme that gets posted on Facebook just makes you look as stupid as the meme that got posted. So, thinking critically is something that actually has to be taught to people. It's not natural. Some people come about it naturally, but most people don't. They see it in print, they see it on a monitor, and they buy it. They believe it. And that's reality, but try not to. It's not good for you, because you can get manipulated. And when you find out you've been manipulated, it feels like shit. You've been used and abused when you finally figure it out. Some people will never, ever figure it out. Well, that's my rant for election week 2016. It's Saturday night after the election. Trump won. As Mike Rowe said, we've had 44 presidents and we'll survive this one. We will. America is great. It doesn't crumble because of one person. There's too many strong people holding the whole nation up. So, go on about your life. I guarantee that almost nothing in it's going to get affected by who's president this term or 4 years or 8 years from now. Your life goes on. Anyway, have a good weekend. Good night.